button on the match. It was all up to us. Let's get on with it. It's going to be Train, Echo Fox on the CT side, Rix, Roka, Shongair, Shazam, and Freakazoid. Of course, for Immortals, it's Henny, Phelps, Zeus, Bolts, and Lucas. And look at the aggression at Ivy, but Freakazoid and Rix holding up close to shredding through it all. Immortals just seemed to try to go really aggro all across the map, and they got shut down all across the board.
Yeah. They basically got called out in that situation. I think Rick's pushing up and then having a bait set up. They highly anticipated the potential for someone to come down Ivy, and they were right. Wow, just a clean round. Did anyone take damage? Just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there really wasn't a whole lot done there from the Immortals side of things. They got cleaned up pretty quickly. I didn't even get a chance to run through the roster before the round was practically over,
yeah,
it felt like. So we are going to go into the second round here, where we are, in fact, going to see the head armor buy out of Immortals thanks to no first-round bomb plant, so they'll get the Tech 9s out. I mean, what do you think is a good call here on Train with like a Tech 9 force ball like this? What do you think works out well?
Definitely inner. It's just the easiest way to get a plant no matter what the setup is. And you know, the CTs have an obligation to keep a certain amount of people outside because otherwise they let that site go. But inner can be held down by one person, as we see it being held down right now by Roka, who's on this lower ramp. And it looks like you want to try to take first contact. His job here is just to listen and spot, but it actually doesn't tell him that much, right? It just says that somebody crossed at some point, but that doesn't mean that they're going to go B. It doesn't mean that they're going to cross.
And that's why you see Shazam, like, he's partially rotated, but he hasn't like overly committed, right? He's not all the way over towards upper. He's still right there in Z to pick the proper rotate back to outer, and you even have Rix now actually in position to quick rotate either way. So they have a really good setup here in Echo Fox to respond to whatever the attack is here from Immortals, as we do see them, you know, still not decisive just yet. You see Henny like trying to see if someone's going to give him some information and cross outer. Meanwhile, Shongair actually does pick up a kill on Lucas over towards Ivy. And so whatever Immortals was looking to do, they're going to be a man short of it. And so now I have to kind of reconsider things. It looks like they are just going to be gathering up at ladder to explode in this outer bomb site.
Yeah, it's weird. They don't have a single smoker flash, but they managed to make their way out. No, Rix finds that kill first. Only 3 up. Freakazoid on the back of the train is looking for a battle. Rix is going to pick up a second for himself, and 2 players in hell now don't have a bomb or a way to plant. This is going to be a really difficult situation. And again, the goal here is just to put the bomb down and get that $800 per person.
Seems like there's going to be no way to do that now. Echo 5 with 5 members up, and they're all just surrounding the bomb, basically. And so Immortals are not going to be able to get that one in there. So it's going to be 2-0 in favor of Echo Fox. And Immortals, of course, yet again going to be on to another save. So we should be seeing Echo Fox get off to the 3-0 start. And so certainly going to be satisfied with that, I'm sure, given that this was, of course, Immortals' map pick. And they're, you know, off to the proper start.
Yeah. Now, they couldn't just go inner because you can't just go inner every time, right? Because that would imply that the CTs will never fortify inner or have an extra person there. And Immortals can't assume that, right? They got to assume that it's going to be a 2-3, whether or not it is a 4-1. And so they decided to test out, or they thought maybe Echo Fox, after showing face on that side, on that part of the map in the White Halls to Roka, that they were going to bring their talents along with them, but it didn't really matter.
Indeed, it did not. We do see the triple Ivy set up here from Immortals. Again, this is something I love to watch them do on rifle rounds, but they'll actually do it here on the save. They're trying to push through. Shongair is going to feel the pressure, falls back with the scout, puts up the incendiary as well. He's going to get hunted down there, and actually Rix is going to get the TK, but he'll still line up 2 kills right afterwards with the M4, so really no harm, no foul there. But look at this, it's causing a massive rotate to outer, and so Phelps is able to slip in because Roka actually cheated all the way back to Z connector, so Phelps is able to place that bomb down. So of course it won't win him the round, but it will, you know, net him some extra money into the next round.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of that's a really big oversight by Roka. I mean, if he just stayed there and watched at least one choke point, he would have certainly heard Phelps coming down inner, or at least spotted him, and then been able to deny the plant when he only had a Glock. I mean, he wasn't even, there was no way that he was going to win that duel 1v1, especially not versus Roka.
Indeed, it was one of those things where there was, I guess, really no need for him to move. I mean, outer was taken care of completely after Rix kind of, you know, took several down, but we'll see how it plays out as the Immortals are going to get that op onto Henny right away here. AKs across the board. No kills in any of these rounds, by the way, by Immortals. And so I think it's important to note just how much Echo Fox really built their economy. Like, Immortals wasn't really able to limit them at all. They weren't able to force any type of rebuys or anything like that for the most part. So
it's super weird. The last 2 rounds, they hadn't bought a single nade, and no one got a kill. They didn't upgrade any of their Glocks on that previous round either, which I really like, by the way, because you might as well save.
We're going to see them double up over here at IB with both Bolts and Lucas. Bolts usually always there, but Lucas is going to join them this time around, and they're just kind of, you know, getting control of inner halls. Bomb still placed actually down on Terrace spawn. And we're not seeing anything too crazy. This is about as default as it gets, with maybe just a little bit of extra presence towards Ivy for Immortals.
Well, the smoke comes out, and that does obscure the vision of our man Shongair, who taking it upon himself to watch that. Roka looking for the trade. No, well, gets the original kill, and then Phelps trades his teammate Zeus. That's a big find. I mean, 4v4, that's a really great place to be as a terrorist on train with so much time remaining.
Absolutely. You can already be able to see Bolts actually making his way through Ivy. We can see Echo Fox is actually rotated off of that. They have one in the back halls, though, kind of watching it from CT spawn. It's going to be Freakazoid, so he can be able to quickly rotate to assist Shazam, who's now taken up at inner, but still be able to kind of make sure that this back halls is not going to be backstabbed. But Lucas works his way out of Ivy. Shongare's hiding inside the bomb train. I think he actually got tagged up by his teammate there from T-Connector, but it doesn't matter. He survives that, able to get in on the bomb train, takes out Rix, in fact. And so now Shongare trying to defend the site from inside, but he can't do it. Lucas with yet another entry. That's 3 kills on the round for Lucas, and then we will see Bolts finish it off. So again, we were talking about Lucas earlier on, how much he's developed. He was definitely integral to Immortals taking that round.
Yeah, that was nice. I mean, the great thing was they got that initial trade in the default with Ivy control, so they had their options open from the beginning of that round, all the way up until the very last few moments, and ended up not having to throw very many smokes, if any at all, and relied on lurking out, getting map control, and causing rotations, which is exactly how you want your T rounds to go every single time.
See Echo Fox going for the double up here right away. Shongare's having the second one. He's actually already been taken down by Henny, who picks out from T-Connector, so nice little opening pick there from Echo Fox, looking to see if they can't reset Immortals' economy here and, you know, maintain that lead, not allow Immortals to gain any ground. See, Rick's getting aggressive here, actually, in T-Connector, trying to see if he can't even the odds up a little bit. You see this quite a lot when you go down to a 4v5. You feel like you have to make a play. You're sitting back in your spots isn't going to work out, but Phelps is able to catch Freakazoid kind of looking the wrong way, and so now it's gotten even worse. It's a 5-on-3.
Yeah, the options are wide open. It's up to Echo Fox to look for a kill, but the thing is that when you have 3 players, the ability to look for a kill becomes less and less. And that's why you have such an advantage when you keep all the members of your team alive. Here, 2 players are pushed up Ivy, and they're taking their time. Though Shazam is finding a way to equalize. They are still down a man, and that is still a big disadvantage, but at least we know that Shazam has gotten some info, has shut down at least partially a choke point on the map. But here's the congregation. 30 seconds remain. Phelps spots Shazam rotating to the inner. I'm not sure if it's fake whistle, but he moved really fast, and Rix on the back of T-Con gets straight out by Henny. What is even happening?
Heck? I guess he walked right by. Henny was just scoped in, didn't even notice Rix was flanking, but doesn't matter. He does get the kill, and so does Bolt. So it's now all up to Roka now in a 1v3. He's actually going to be able to push through that fire, but there's one at E-Box. There's a great crossfire inside the site, so he won't be able to do much there. So Immortals, again, just kind of working that man advantage throughout the round. We did see Echo Fox find a pick here and there to get back into it, but Immortals never really lost control was kind of the key point. And now you see Echo Fox has actually run out of money.
Yeah, it's pretty scary that Immortals have won those rounds with just getting the opening pick really easily. I mean, the first time came down to a trade, but ultimately just going for a default, not really calling a strat whatsoever, just feeling Echo Fox out, and then Echo Fox crumbling through the pressure on all parts of the map. Now they have to save, and these are precious CT rounds that they're giving up.
Yeah, now you're just going to see Immortals kind of realizing that Echo Fox, they don't really have the utility to stop any type of T-Con outer push, so they're just going to go ahead and flood out as quickly as they can, and they're going to find the entry pretty early on. There's going to be Bolts taking out Shazam, Lucas and Zeus now chiming in as well, so that's pretty much the round lost. Freak left with 3 HP and a P250. There's not going to be much that he can do about this. It's going to be now tied up at 3-all.
Yeah, great spot for Immortals to be after losing the pistol. That can be tough on you mentally, but they seem to have recovered no problem. They've also kept... I don't even know if they've lost one person 2 rounds ago. The last round they lost nobody, and last round they lost one person as well. So they've kept nearly 15 people alive in the last 3 rounds. That's a ton of money that they have for themselves in the bank.
You can really see Immortals kind of starting to settle in, be able to put some rounds together and do so convincingly, as you noted. And so it's certainly going to do them well throughout the rest of the half if times get tough later on. And you look at the money at Echo Fox, certainly could do a buy here, but they're not going to be able to have any outs involved anymore, which we know can be so effective on a map like Train. It's one of the few maps where people feel like double op's actually the way to go on the CT side.
Yeah, it's one of the only ones that are friendly to it. The rotations being so important means that having a guy in Z who can come in and out, who can watch upper for you, and then off T-Con if you'd like, and then have one at Ivy. You can put them both to work, and there isn't much moving around that they'll have to do.
Look at this. Roka actually takes a peek up ramp, takes down Zeus. He actually also had Shazam for support coming in from upper. I'm not sure if he actually got any damage in. Only saw Roka get the kill and no assist granted by the game, so Not sure if that played an effect or not. He's actually going to back off, and Shazam will actually just hold upper hall. So now they have a kill. They have a ton of information, and Shazam's able to just hold on to a good line of sight to ensure that they'll never get control of inner halls again without Echo Fox knowing about it.
Bolts is Lucas tucked in? Because I feel like Bolts was actually just watching an angle that Lucas would have to die from first before he could do anything about. But he's falling back now. And this is the first time in 3 that Echo Fox have the man advantage.
Yeah, and so now you see Phelps actually just trying to see if he can't let loose here from T-Connector and sniff anyone out, but no one's going to be peeking now. Echo Fox concerned now that they have the man advantage here. They just have 2 actually holding back towards back halls. We are going to see them just try to flood out T-Connector. So far, we do have just 1 trade, but it still just keeps favoring Echo Fox right now. Freak is well playing at the back of green. We are going to see that op still out on Henny. But Lucas has been taken down over towards Ivy, and so Echo Fox just continuing to hold the advantage here. Shazam begins to rotate through ladder as well, so now Immortals are just starting to get boxed in this outer bomb site. They're not going to be able to do much. It's all with the bolts now. He's in a 1v4. He gets 1 kill, but quickly traded by Shazam, and so Echo Fox will take the lead back.
Yeah, it's certainly not good enough. It's good to see Echo Fox still in this, and they don't have a lot of money. I mean, neither team. Suddenly, the savings from Immortal have a somewhat of a hole in them. Henny's going to be able to pick up the op again. They'll probably have 1 more buy left in them, but Echo Fox have done a good job recouping their losses from the previous round.
Certainly have. We are going to see Immortals. Again, just Phelps kind of coming out here towards T-Connector, not really changing the pace a whole lot, but they're not actually even going towards Ivy this time around. Seems like they have a lot more numbers over here towards T-Connector, so I'm not sure if they're just lining up some type of outer smokes here soon, but Rix, he's going to change things up. He's actually going to push into the ladder room. Take an aggressive stance there, so this could play a factor in this round for sure, as this is something that Echo Fox have not done yet.
I wonder what this means. It's a huge bit of information. They know that they've cut down 1 of 3 choke points from the outer split, and they're still going to have opponents coming out here, so potentially a really good after plant spot. Oh, Lucas finding a kill could make a huge difference in this moment. Freak and Sean falling back to more passive spots to the back of bomb.
Yeah, it's just a smoke wall up now for Immortals, and they just keep working behind it, but Shazam is eventually going to find a shot there through it all from Ivy, and that's actually going to get the bomb down temporarily, but Phelps is going to pick it back up, and he's going to start to plant. No one from Echo Fox is looking to challenge just yet. They're trying to gather up the remaining numbers to come in, and Roke will actually catch Phelps around the edge of a smoke, and so that's going to help Echo Fox out a lot. In this retake situation, Henny just trying to hold the Ivy lane down from T-Connector. Shazam goes up top green. He's going to show himself, and Henny's going to make him pay for it. He's going to get pushed in here by an E-Box, but he jumps around over towards Olaf, and so he's able to stay alive, and this bomb is still ticking. Echo Fox starting to run low on time here. They actually have no kits as well, so that makes things so much more difficult, and Henny just keeps surviving through it all. He finally gets taken down by Roka, but yeah, you noted that the molly, that probably kills it. He has to get on there and just try to defuse it, and it looks like he's just not going to have enough time, and so there you have it. Immortals, they tie it right back up 4-all.
Jeez. Wow. Beautiful Molotov. I mean, to get that first kill, sure. The Molotov just seals it up. It's just right. He didn't use it too early. He didn't throw it to hell on a whim as he was about to. We saw him light it up and then think about it and was like, no, maybe this would be a good thing to use to secure the round. And, yeah, very prudent play by him.
So at this point, we have a really close game on our hands right now. It's 4-all, but Echo Fox are going to be on the save for that op that Shazam is going to be able to put into play. He's actually going to be taking over towards upper inner, so trying to change up his location a bit, maybe give Immortals a different look that they're not expecting. You see Immortals, though, just trying to flood that outer bomb site once again. They love to do this on anti-eco rounds, and meanwhile, they just breeze their way through. Zeus with 2, Phelps with 1, Rix able to collect 1 for himself, and he's actually going to be able to pick up an AK, so maybe he has a shot here, but no, Phelps silences any of his hopes. And Shazam has this op that will likely just maybe look for some exits, but there's no way he gets back into this round, so Immortals will take the lead right back.
The ideal situation is that Shazam gets a does grab a frag, doesn't have a kit, as you mentioned, to complement this play if he wants to continually put on the pressure, but yeah, probably in his best interest to save. It looks like he's still trying to test here. No, falling back now. Probably a wise choice. And will get caught off guard, but finds the better of Bolts. A really, really big pickup. Henny, and it doesn't have the ability to chase right now with this op slowing him down.
Yeah, there's really no way he's going to catch up with Shazam, so both members will go to opposite corners of the map. Sitting ringside, waiting for the next round to come in. Maybe getting the, take a look at by the coach as we are going to have it now 5-4. Money's still pretty low on Echo Fox on several of their members, but they'll buy up what they can. This means that Roke is only going to be on SMG, and Sean Gares actually is going to get it past an op. So a little bit low on utility, and they do have 1 player with an SMG, but that double op setup is going to be into effect.
Yeah, we're going to see if we go head-to-head again. Again, Henny is such a nuts operator. He's very unique, and when he has impact, there's few people in the world that can win a duel versus him. Even you can even cite Guardian saying that he, quote, got raped by Henny in his entire map through.
Again, he's a very flashy operator. We'll talk about it in just a second, as we already have a big engagement going on over here in the inner halls, where Roka's able to get a kill at the SMG and actually back off. No one's able to trade him out this time around. And so really good movement there by him to just get the heck out of there. But we do see Phelps. He's forcing the issue inside the inner. At Hot Dog, he wants to win this, but he just can't. Roka unloads another kill. And now Lucas tries to come out upper to see if he can't finally deal with the nuisance that has been Roka. But Roka just surviving, comes out for a third kill. And he's done more than enough work to secure this round. It's now going to be up to Rick, Sean Garrett, and Freakish to close it out. Should have no problem doing so. But we'll see. Does Bolts have it in him to do a 1v3? You can't put it past him. A very clutch player, but he's getting flanked by 2 from low, and he's not so worried about Sean across the map, and he just can't get it done. So Echo Fox just immediately tie it back up. This has been such a scrappy start to the game.
I know, it's crazy. And if you go tit for tat, it's going to favor the T's, though. Immortals coming by these rounds is really nice for them. Ultimately, it is going to be important to have a solid D half. No longer is it acceptable to get only 4 rounds on T side and then win a map on train, excuse me. But they're getting close to the critical point where it's like 6, 7, and you're really not feeling good about your CT half, getting only 7 or 8.
Actually, I have a question for you about that, because I know you played a fair amount yourself, and you obviously have a lot of time with the game. When this new version of Train first came out, people didn't really care for it so much. How do you feel about it now, like months down the line, now it's been played out so much more?
I think it's good in a lot of ways, but I think it still has some of the problems of Train that you can't escape. Like, for example, it gets kind of crazy outside. Like, these trains are so big that you can have someone walk around a train, spot somebody, and in a 1v1, go around to the other side of the train and then use that as the afterplan spot, and there's literally nothing you can do about it, right? There are no pieces of cover on other maps that provide the same amount of safety that it does on this map. So I think that's an actual problem with it, and now you can't actually see under the trains as well or catch people crossing. It's a lot more difficult. So there are things I don't like about it. Sometimes the outside takes get messy. Sometimes it's a little bit too structured. It's really hard to pug. And I think maps should be fun for even the noobs.
For even the noobs. There you go. So we are going to have Immortals just set up pretty much in default positions at this point, just trying to see if they can't work something. They are going to be a bit limited. They don't really have much utility, and they're on 3 Tech 9s. We have Rix again with aggressive position here in T-Connector. Henny not really going to sniff him out in time, so Rix is going to be able to get that kill. We do have 2 pressing out Ivy now, but Shazam still has the op in the back hall, so he'll be able to keep vision on this. Meanwhile, Bolt's trying to slip through with Tech 9. He actually does get behind Sean Garrett, who's not expecting this. That's going to kill, and he's actually going to be able to pick up an op. And so we'll see if he can put it to use right now. He does get another Tech 9 kill on the Freakazoid. So it's going to be a 3 versus 2, and now all of a sudden the tides have turned in this round. It's looking good for Echo Fox, but now Immortals have full control. It's all up to Shazam. In a 1v3, he gets one, but Bolt's quick to fight back, and Bolt just, man, he delivered that round to Immortals big time.
Oh yeah, he certainly did. And again, they get that 6, they put Echo Fox back on a save, and now they're in position to get beyond 7 or 8 rounds, considering how well they've done, how many rifle rounds they won versus Echo Fox. The scoreline's tight, though. It's been a barn burner so far.
It really has been. I mean, look at this. No one's ever been able to streak together more than 3 rounds in a row. And we've been able to see Echo Fox come in and get around here and there, but the problem is they've had their economy reset now twice in this half. And when the game was so close at a certain period of time, and now all of a sudden you have Echo Fox, having their money go in disarray on 2 different occasions, that's whenever Immortals can start to, really taking control of the half. That seems to be what we're seeing develop here as Immortals catching Echo Fox and another eco, just storming the front at the inner bomb site and just putting on a shooting gallery there. And so they will now go up 7-5.
Hey, we have the same knife.
Of course, that's
the most important part of the round.
Top-notch analysis.
Shout out to Zeus. Good taste.
As now we do have Echo Fox buying up what they can, but again, still very limited on 2 FAMASs. And also, if they lose this, they're right back to saving, so you can really see how things have kind of caught back up with them.
Shazam's going to have the off back in his hands, so that's going to be an extra level of comfort for him. I'm not sure if that smoke went high enough. Maybe Rick's wanted to try to lurk around it, but it didn't bounce that high. Oh, Henny actually wins his duel versus Shazam, so he's in and out of the round.
And now Phelps looking to take control of the inner halls. Roka actually going to be pushing out from the ladder. Phelps is able to catch on to him and do a little bit of damage, and Roka's not going to go for this again. He's actually just going to go ahead and back off. He's going to get some support from Freakazoid, who's now rotated over to the center of the inner site. Bomb actually still down over towards T-Connector. In the midst of all this, we've actually seen a couple of more kills go off, and Immortals only have 3 members left.
Yeah, now they have walked out. Phelps is coming down. And no one's actually spotting this. Roka's just going to go down. But the Z rotate isn't quick. Sean, no, Freak hasn't got the kill, and he goes down. That's a really big upset in that one trade, excuse me. Both going to go for the plan on the back of the bomb site, and it's a 3v2.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really expect Echo Fox to really be able to do much here at this point. They really need to save these guns, to be quite honest, because they just don't have the money going into this next round. I mean, these might be the only 2 guns they really even have to work with. As the Immortals are all going to go up 8-5, and, I mean, you got to feel like the 9th one's right around the corner, given the situation Echo Fox is in.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to affect their decision to buy. I don't know how much money they have left over. They do pick up an op. That's going to incentivize buying even more, even if 1 or 2 people can only afford pistols and maybe a couple of nades. Sean Gare's looking to hang on to this. And Immortals aren't going to give him too much trouble. They have an op of their own. Bolts has a rifle, and there are a couple rounds left. They could definitely go broke if they make too many careless decisions.
Yeah, so again, Immortals now well in control of this half, up 8-5. It started out quite close, but now Immortals seem to want to go ahead and ensure themselves this MAC victory as best they can in this half at least. And they'll actually have their own double op set up now on the terrorist side. It'll be Zeus with 1, and Hinny, of course, all too familiar with his.
And you got to wonder when the fatigue will start catching up with the Echo Fox. They just played a grueling best-of-3 series, right? It probably went farther than it should have. I think, did you anticipate Echo Fox to take that in 2, or did you expect to go the distance?
Of course not. I mean, when Complexity came to this event, when you looked at how they were doing online, now they're using a stand-in.
Yeah.
I thought that, I didn't even think they'd make it out their group, to be honest. I was really expecting like someone like Rogue to be able to handle them, but they were not able to do so, so props to them. But as you noted, Echo Fox is certainly going to wear on their mind a little bit, but they'll try to push it aside and focus up, as they could really use this round, despite the fact that they only have really pistols to work with. But Sean Garrett does have this deagle up close on Pop Dog, and here comes Immortals flooding through. He does spot out Zeus. He does some damage, takes him down very low. He can't finish him off, however, finally gets it. Meanwhile, Roka actually does take down one. He just sneaks around. No one picks up on him. That's 2 kills for Roka. And so now it's going to be a 4-on-2, and all of a sudden, this round that you thought that Echo Fox didn't have a shot to win, it's looking pretty bright. Of course, as soon as I say that, 2 more kills pop off from Immortals, but Freak is what keeps their hopes alive with the flank, and so it's all on Bolt. So 1v2. He does spot out Rix in the back, and he knows that a flank is certainly possible.
Ooh, yeah, that was a good nade.
Spots Freak up top, does get that kill, spins around for Rix, takes him down really low, 8 HP, but just not quite enough.
Damn, that was almost a really beautiful round from Bolts, finding that sequence. It's hard to, synthesize the amount of things that happened in those few moments. When we had a man at spools and he got a kill, but the player who was on the site was so obsessed with killing Sean Gayers at back Pop Dog, didn't pay attention to him, and then got turned on, and why even talk about it? It was crazy. It was pistols.
Like the timing of which Roka was able to get that second kill wrapped in the sight, as well as Freakazoid catching a kill at flank, just created so much pressure on Immortals. I feel like they had too many things to worry about at once. And even though they had numbers, so many things were happening while they were also trying to get the bomb down, hold all their angles. It just, overwhelmed them, it feels like. And so
Picture
Echo
a
Fox
cat trying to juggle.
I so wish we had you on camera for what you just did. Now Twitch chat will just or hit mystery. Hopefully at least someone recorded that. That would be a nice meme for the social media. It looks like we do have a timeout coming up here. You got to believe this is probably tactical from Echo Fox. Actually, maybe not. Maybe this is Immortals actually taking a break after they just lost a round.
Yeah, potentially.
I mean, you only get 1 a map, and you kind of wonder, I mean, they already have pretty good control of this half. What if, in the second half, Echo Fox poses a comeback, and now you don't have that anymore, right? So,
sorry?
Like, they took a tactical. If this is, in fact, a tactical from Immortals, I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, actually, it looks like it might be a technical. I don't know if there's, like, an issue going on. Bolts, I see him going down towards his PC, so maybe something happened there.
No, I don't think. He would have had an admin with him.
Yeah, that's certainly possible.
So we have to guess.
Speculate on what, in fact, we're waiting for.
In the mind of a pleb.
This is one of the few times where we actually know just as much as Twitch chat does, which is nothing about what's going on right now.
Well, still having a good time. Got to be feeling pretty good. It's just everything's going so well so far. And again, Echo Fox actually have a pistol to their name, right? So 3 of the rounds that they did win can be attributed to pistol round wins, and then, that just makes their CT side look abysmal at that point.
especially when you consider and it really was set up that way just because of the fact they got their economy reset twice. I mean, it's so hard to deal with. I mean, just ask Cloud9 when they got their economy reset 4 times against Heroic on Overpass.
Yeah, yeah.
Then they came out and smashed it.
That was the absolute worst way that your CT half could have gone. Like, yeah.
So again, not 100% sure what this break is just yet. Not sure if it's tactical or a technical issue, but hopefully we'll get live with this first half, or get back in the first half, I should say. I think there's only one more round left, right? And so, you know, Immortals certainly looking on their terror side. We do actually now have an admin speaking with the guys over at Immortals, so I have to assume that this is actually like a technical issue. But it looks like he's putting his headset back on, so it looks like we might be good to go here in just a moment.
Got the 2 headsets and the earbuds. Welcome to LAN.
What can you say as, I mean, have Immortals done enough? Like, even if they don't win out this last round, do you think that they should be comfortable with what's gone on so far?
Yeah, definitely. CD side is not easy. Sometimes you find yourself in a place where you're like, oh, we're so ready to play CD side, and then you just get stomped, and you're like, what just happened? And it's just like that confusion of train from like one good exec or just one lucky round where a player was able to lurk out in a position you just had no idea how to anticipate or stop it can really throw a wrench in the plans. Yeah, so I won't call it until we see a rifle round from Immortals. If they take off from there, it's definitely over. But giving Sean Gare some credit here, I think he has some stuff up his sleeve for their T side as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's kind of cool because I know Sean Gare's actually developed and created a bunch of really cool executes on this map. Like everyone was doing the outer smoke wall, but Sean Gare's is the one who like developed all these different Molotovs that you throw and exactly how you throw them and when and how it creates so much chaos. And he did the same thing actually in the Interbomb side. He had this really cool execute there as well. So maybe he's taught that to this current iteration of his lineup, and we'll see it in play. But now we finally are live with the last round of this half to see if Immortals will extend the lead or if Echo Fox will make the half as close as it can get, as it certainly started off close. So will they finish it that way? So we do see Rix getting aggressive here on T-Connector, and we do have Shazam, in fact, getting the pick on the Henny.
Nice. That's a dual 1. I think, I can't remember how many times they gone head-to-head. I can only remember one time Henny off hop Shazam, and this time Shazam off Henny. So it's 1 for 1 in my mind, which is not bad.
Not bad at all. So that's going to give Echo Fox a 1-man advantage throughout the rest of this round. We do see Immortals still pretty split up. Zeus throwing a little bit of action over here towards the inner bomb site, perhaps just to hold some in place. But you see that bomb actually tucked in at the back of T-Connector, so it still could really go either way. It seems like they're giving Phelps the freedom, which Zeus will do sometimes, and just kind of let him let loose and just see what he can do. He is that type of player where he's just so good at getting entries and making plays and just trying to create space for his team. We already see him getting a kill and also locating Rix, who's now going to get cleaned up by Bolt. So good work there to get it into a 2v3 and actually get the bomb in the outer sight. And now Bolt's actually evened it up 2-on-2, and Lucas clears it up. So they're playing from a disadvantage, and they might just take it. It's all on Sean Gare's 1v2 with the op. He knows what's up close, so it's very out. He misses the shot, and the bomb gets planted in the meantime, and then Lucas will just finish the job. So that combination there of Phelps getting a kill and getting info allows his teammates Bolts and Lucas to finish the job.
Yeah, no. And that was really rough because the bomb went down, and then Sean immediately scoped. But if he hadn't, he probably would have checked his right without scoping, and Lucas might not have been fully aware that he was coming up old bomb. So maybe a little bit unfortunate for him in that situation.
I mean, look at Bolts. You can clearly see that he had an impact there. 16 and 8, very well done over on the side of Echo Fox. A little bit tighter frag distribution amongst the top players, Shazam, Roka, and Rix, but of course Freakazoid and Sean Gare's having a little bit of a tougher time. But nonetheless, it was quite a close half up until Echo Fox's economy kind of, you know, spiraled out of control. And even then, they still did, in fact, win an eco round inside the inner bomb site, and that really helped them out. But it will, in fact, be a more stick and a half, 9-6. So they will have a slight advantage going to the pistol. But, of course, with that pistol, and in this situation, now it's either like a tie game or someone doubles their lead. That's kind of the scenario that you put yourself in if you don't account for any type of force bias actually being successful. So still, it's really hard to tell who actually has control of this game at this point. I mean, you think Immortals, because they're going to the CT side, they probably feel pretty good about 9 on the T side. But we'll just have to see how that works out.
Yeah, you know, holding my breath for the pistol because even if, let's say, Immortals have a suddenly horrible CT side, it doesn't matter because the round count has gone out of control at that point. Right? You're getting to the 13 mark, or actually it's 9-6.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, so let's say it gets to 12. That's still really good. And then if I'm not even going to call it if they win the next rifle. They still only need 4 rounds to close it out on CT side, and they'll they'll have double the amount of rounds as Echo Fox. So this pistol does mean a lot more for Immortals, I think, than it does for Echo Fox, who have kind of a tall hill to climb no matter what.
Yes, I mean, a lot of pressure to be put on Sean Gares now to try to see if he can't steer the ship of Echo Fox in the right direction to get back into this one, try to tie it up as quickly as he can. Of course, the pistol round will be big, so we'll see what type of tactic he likes to come up with. I know he's definitely a connoisseur of pistol rounds. He really loves to go through demos and watch everyone's pistols and kind of learn from them. And so we certainly might have something cooked up on this map. Meanwhile, you can see Zeus communicating to the boys there over at Immortals, keeping them in check, as it shouldn't be too much longer before the second half goes live, I hope.
Seeing all those headphones on Zeus' head just reminded me how crazy it is, how much money is going into this game. I just had some insane realization about how crazy it is. These guys are sitting down playing Counter-Strike for this much money, and we're here casting it for thousands of people.
It's definitely cool. We definitely appreciate all of you tuning in, of course. This is going to be our last match of the day. This determines who is going to meet Cloud9 in the finals, which will take place tomorrow afternoon. Of course, we also have the third place match going on, which is something not a lot of tournaments do, but this one is. And we are going to be actually seeing whoever loses this match have to play up against Heroic for third place. So that'll be, I think, a little bit earlier in the morning before the finals in the afternoon, just to give you a little bit of an idea. But we'll give you, of course, the exact figures on when that all starts tomorrow.
What's your
before
prediction?
The broadcast ends.
Oh, I guess this might actually turn out to be a fast round. Oh, Shazam takes a money nade down to half HP.
Yeah, it certainly hurts as you do see them gathered up. A lot of numbers inside the inner halls. It's just going to be Roke over towards Ivy. So I'm not sure what, in fact, they're looking to do just yet. They really haven't shown their cards, so to speak. They do have one smoke and two flashes on Sean Gare, so that's going to be kind of what's going to trigger everything is once those get dumped out. Looks like they're just going to let Roka flank late back halls, but they really want to execute the center bomb site. And now you see Zeus actually being chased down. He has the 5-7 in hand. Freakazoid will eventually trade him out, and this bomb is actually still left behind in the inner halls. It's not even in the site. This is actually really bad because now Echo Fox, they probably could have planted, but they just don't have the bomb on them to do so. And now they just have to try to win a 2v2. There is that flank still coming in from Roka, and that could play a huge factor because I don't think Immortals is expecting that flank at all. So Roka could just catch someone completely off guard. He gets the chance, but he misses the shot. Does connect there in the end, though. Now 1v1. It's going to be Roka versus Phelps here. And we can see them just staring down each other from the side of this red chain, just dancing around right now. It's going to be the Glock versus the P2K. Roka doing the bulk of the damage, but Phelps fits in the headshot. And you can see the frustration from Roka. That was certainly a tense 1v1, but Immortals comes up on the better end of the deal.
Yeah, I mean, that came down to one more bullet from Roka anywhere in the body, and Phelps had to hit the headshot, and he did it. So, that's, jeez, that's betting on green, right?
Incredible stuff. And just to think about the fact that the bomb was down for the whole time inside upper halls, and I think
was it all the way back there?
Oh, it's still way back there. It was actually top ladder.
Jeez, that's
I'm not sure if someone got picked and so it fell and no one picked it up or what exactly happened there, but it was definitely not even in play. And Immortals, of course, not really knowing that, and then it just got so scrappy over there towards Z-Connector. Just wound up not mattering. It came down to the fights in the end, and Immortals, they get the job done, but by the skin of their teeth, it was certainly close. But Echo Fox not getting a plant will force up. Actually have a scout in play on Roka. Rick's playing the inner halls alone. Actually does spot out Zeus over here towards Pop Dog. Going to fire off a few rounds, but not going to actually connect anything. But he's still going to, put pressure here to see if he still can't scope him out.
And no more info has been gathered. Echo Fox are, I don't know if it's in their best interest to just delay, but I guess they're hoping that Immortals get unnecessarily aggressive. Freaking a flash down ladder. Two are going to drop. Noise has been made. The bomb is down here too, so you can only assume that they're posturing for an outer split versus out of these two choke points.
Yeah, Freak has the one smoke. Oh, no, Rick still does have one as well. So maybe they might just try to throw them into back of bomb train, as you said, just try to see if they can't run in and get a bomb plant. But you see Lucas and company held up here, ready to go. Henny actually even pops off the kill with the scout from range, and he's going to find another one there after the trade from Sean Gares. And so it's going to be a 4-on-3. Freakazoid still trying to fight his way through with the Tech 9 here, but so far Immortals holding the line from the back, not giving themselves away and just trying to make sure this bomb can't go down. And now they collect a couple of kills. It's all left up to Freak with 3 HP. There's a couple players low, but he's not having a chance to aim at them as they'll get quickly eliminated by Zeus. And so Immortals not going to allow any force flash shenanigans. They'll make it 11-6.
Yeah, and so the hole gets deeper for Echo Fox, who are now going to be saving one more time. Probably not going to be spending much at all. A couple of players picking up P250s. It's good to knock. I mean, they're going to have to play for the long con here, right? They have to do economic damage on top of come back from an almost insurmountable amount of rounds. And I mean, it's not over till it's over, but it does get much more difficult on you mentally thinking about the hill that you have to climb.
And look at this aggression from Zeus inside the inner halls with the max 70. We'll take Ricks down. That's actually the bomb down by itself in isolation. And so that's certainly going to hurt. You can see Immortals are actually going to pressure ladder, and they want to make sure they can actually hold this bomb. And I don't see a way Echo Fox ever gets back to it. No, it's just not going to happen. Immortals will mop them up. And so no hope there for Echo Fox to find a cheeky bomb plant for extra money. But now they'll get their first buy. And this will kind of tell us, I think, a little bit more about how this half's going to go, how this one plays out.
Yeah, we'll see. This is the round that I've kind of been waiting for. I mean, the pistol just shows that Immortals are getting to these critical level of rounds where almost any time that they win, if it's a 2-for-1, it's pretty much over. Your buying decisions are going to be, you're going to be cloudy about your buying decisions, right? You're going to get a little bit more desperate. You're probably going to be scared to make more mistakes, and you won't have any peace of mind because of those things.
Zeus once again getting aggressive here, just throwing on a nade this time. It's actually not really going to do much damage. We are going to see Roka at his familiar spot over towards Ivy, just playing it passively. Meanwhile, we do have 3 set up with the bomb, actually just slowly working their way down lower ramp as Sean Garrett just kind of holds over at T-Connector. So the 2 solo players in their respective spots, they try to work an inner execute, and Freak will actually get the entry on the vault, but Zeus is right there to trade, and he'll actually get 2 down. That's the bomb down as well. He'll put Incendiary on top of the bomb. So now Shazam is going to take damage trying to jump and pick it up as he crosses into the site. He has the op in play, but Henny will dispatch of him quickly, and then Lucas mops everything up. And so it's going to be now 13-6 for Echo Fox, and now they're in one of those situations where they have to save here to make sure they can get a nice buy when Immortals go for map point. So Immortals are in a very dominant position now.
Yeah, no other way to put it, really. And super nice hold from Bolts there to help out his teammate. I think Phelps fell off the train, died, and that was quite unfortunate. And Immortals immediately, Echo Fox immediately create space for themselves, try to get across Pop Dog to the bomb plant zone. Don't expect Bolts to be pushed up close as well. I mean, I wouldn't expect that either if I was coming in and seeing someone top Pop. And but it turned out to be the appropriate and very smart setup.
Yes, it's just going to be as safe, as we noted, from Echo Fox, and they're just kind of spread out across the map. A couple over here towards Ivy. We have Phelps watching that with the AWP. Zeus, again, just kind of soloing in here with the rifle, but now we do see Bolts begin to drift in that direction to kind of assist. I actually see them do a lot of these double inner setups that we saw in that last round. It's actually kind of like one of the things that makes them a little bit different than other teams is like how much they rely on a second member to play these up-close positions with Zeus and actually try to make aggressive pushes on inner halls. Meanwhile, Phelps actually does pick up Roka, so now it's a 5-on-3, and you got to think it's just a matter of moments before the score is going to be 14-6 in favor of Immortals.
Yeah, pretty much only a matter of time. No utility to help them get out. I mean, 1 smoke goes a long way on this map, but 0 smokes, it's not that much. It's a lot worse than having not a single smoke. Ooh, Shazam picks up an op.
And Ricks gets an AK, and he has control of inner, so all of a sudden Immortals get put in a very weird situation. All of a sudden, that easy round has got a little bit gray, but with that pick onto Ricks and Shazam left alone, there shouldn't be too much that he can really do here. He's got the bomb on his back. He has a little bit of time to play around with, and he does collect an op. But we have an aggressive push here from Lucas on T-Connector, and so he won't even be able to peek out, really. And so it's going to be 14-6 for Immortals, and now this is Echo Fox's last chance, really, to have an actual good buy to run some type of tactic that they're familiar with that they think will work.
Yeah, now the only thing they have going for them in this following round, provided they lose, is that they have the full loss bonus on T side. You can put together a somewhat of a buy. I think it would be smart to have like 2 Tech 9s and some nades and a couple people just going commando with an AK and armor. But they're not going to be thinking about that. They're going to be thinking about stopping or preventing that from happening by winning this one here. And a great flash allows Henny to get that kill on Rick's blind. Had no idea what was coming.
And again, it's just that double inner aggression from Immortals. This time it's going to be Henny who's involved with it. But look good. Freakish, that's a 6 shot he just got on the Lucas. But Phelps, he's looking to push through with just a CZ in his hands. He runs right by a player, not really realizing it. They're just back-to-back. They're just dancing around this electric box. Finally, Freakish picks up on him. He's going to be able to get the kill there, but we have Bolts from Ivy laying down the shot onto Sean Garrett. Does some damage to Freakish as well, and eventually finishes him off. And so Immortals have taken the main advantage right back. Roka trying to see if he can make the difference, but it's not going to be the case. So now on Shazam, 1v3, finds the shot there onto Bolts. He still has plenty of time. He does have possession of the bomb. Both players on Immortals are actually kind of stuck pretty far away, so he definitely has a little bit of freedom here to kind of, be patient and really just try to make the best decision.
Yeah. He's got a Got a weak opponent in Zeus, who has one-shot kill potential, but that's not his worst enemy right now. I think pretending to fall off the bomb. We'll certainly not expect two to come from Old Bomb, but he's able to get the kill, and now is getting a little bit of info.
Ooh.
We'll be able to delay. This is turning out to be a little bit more reasonable of a win. Picks up another Molly as well, so if the time does round down loud enough, and now that Molly's not going to be very useful. This flash is really good, and the bomb will be stuck.
Wow.
So, wow.
It literally came down to one flashbang. Shazam, one flash away from winning that round. He probably would have been able to get that spam kill. Maybe he gets away. So I thought he played that really well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he does get blinded by, a sick move from Immortals, and now it's 15-6. And Echo Fox with the bomb plane even have, basically a full buy here, but they have to run the board just to get this into overtime. And we talked about how they've already had a grueling series against Complexity. Now they have to make this huge fight. I mean, do they have the stamina?
Oh, they have quite a bit of money. Oh, because they got that last plant. Yeah, that helped a lot. There's like a whole nade set in that bomb going down. So that does, yeah. The problem is that they haven't proven that they could win a round on T-side in the first place. In fact, they haven't yet at all.
No, not since guns have come out, that is for sure. We do have a triple Ivy set up initially from Echo Fox. So they do begin to back Sean Gares out, as they do have Shazam with that op, still just kind of patrolling over towards C-Connector. Henny never really exposing himself to Shazam, though. He's really focused on Ivy. Maybe that Molotov will actually push him out and get Shazam an angle, but it's actually not going to be the case. We'll actually just back up behind the smoke, and so Shazam will never be able to get any vision there, as we do see Echo Fox begin to gather up. 3 at Ivy. So now it's just going to be Henny to defend against that with the AWP as he begins to back up into the back halls.
The walk-up is occurring. Again, 5v5 situation. Under a minute left on the clock, and Rix will have an opponent down here at ladder. Can certainly flash for himself. Doesn't guarantee that you're going to get the kill. A lot of people flash down ladder. Oh, but re-peeking into the fire is Henny, getting punished for it by getting a little bit of info in return. Spots 3 players. Bolts gets full flashed, but nobody to actually test them.
Yeah, Freakazoid actually somehow died in fire as he was trying to fall back off Ivy after receiving a little bit of damage here from Bolt. So really well done, but Rix and Sean Gares are going to start to reopen things up here in the outer site. But Zeus and Bolts, they're still alive, trying to see if they can't put this map away here and now. They have a couple of players just kind of stuck here on the side of Green Trade, but Roka will fight his way out of it. And so it's going to be 15-7. So Echo Fox, they do survive for now.
That was quite an unfortunate flash from his teammate. Bolt got full blind and had the flank on 2 players who weren't looking at him, but had to fall off because he ate the flash from CT. That probably would have been the round in the game just right there. But, yeah, and wow. Even after all those rounds, we have a Mag 7 and a UMP in the hands of Immortals.
Certainly had some close situations, so a lot of rebuying going on throughout all of this, so it does eventually catch up with them, but it's one of those situations where they have plenty of rounds to work with. I'm sure they're not feeling any stress whatsoever about this one, and they still actually have a pretty decent buy going on here, all considered, as Roka will actually come in. Zeus misses the Mag 7 shot, so that means that there's 2 entries now on the inner bomb site, and the bomb will get planted. You're actually going to see Immortals immediately forfeit. It's one of those weird situations where something happens so rapidly to where you can never even start getting into a position to rotate, and so it's just a loss as soon as the first 2 entries happen.
Oh, of course, yeah. If it happens too quickly, I mean, that's what's key, right? It's either you get the kills or you stay alive and delay. And if you can delay, then there's always the opportunity to retake, even if it's 5v5. But if 2 players go down, you have no idea where people are in after-blind situations. You haven't even left your own site. You just got to give that up and go for the next round, especially if you've got an op. You already had a low buy to begin with. Oh, Lucas is going to get that frag, and it looks like they might try to chase him here, so he's going to have a little bit of trouble, and it is kind of important that he keeps this, just because they will be more than likely saving next round. But it's also important for Echo Fox, who are brand new to winning rounds on T-side, to do them cleanly.
Indeed. And looks like we will see Immortals probably just take another save here. They did, of course, keep the M4 on the op, so maybe you get some upgraded pistols around this, but, no real commitment here. So this is going to allow Echo Fox perhaps a chance to take another, kind of easier round before Immortals can form up their main defense.
Yep, and off the back of that, I mean, that op is still a danger, and Lucas has a kit. He also has an M4 in armor. These are still threats. Pistols, very strong, and if someone gets a lucky frag, Echo Fox gets spread a little bit too thin. They will quickly fall into the trap of trying to recoup their losses, being a little bit frantic, getting caught in other parts of the map, rotating back. And we've seen it happen all too often.
Right, as we do see just 2 backed up over here towards Ivy, including the bomb carrier on Echo Fox. I mean, it's pretty much a default setup here for Immortals, so a lot, I feel, is just going to be put on the shoulders of Henny to make plays, but we will see Feltz up close with the CZ, had an opportunity there to get a kill, got Sean Gears down to 6 HP, but just couldn't quite get the last bullet in. And we do see another exchange take place over here towards T-Connector, and so the bomb is making its way in, but Sean Gears, he somehow just keeps surviving through all this, but now Lucas decides to chime in. He has to turn around. Ivy gets the bomb down, finds another. Oh my goodness, Lucas making this so difficult. Zeus now has a very vulnerable 1v1 because Sean Gears is so low on HP. As Zeus will just hold the angle, Sean Gears steps out, shots exchanged, but none connecting. Meanwhile, the bomb's now way far away from Sean, so having to work back towards that's going to be rather difficult, but we'll see what he can do. Does he want to go for the bomb, or does he want to go for the frag? Zeus has no idea. He's just trying to maneuver his way around the best he can and set himself up to make something happen. But, I mean, all is quiet right now. It's kind of at a standstill. Time is ticking low, though, so Sean needs to make a play as soon as he can, and eventually Zeus will catch him crossing over towards Ivy, and so that will, in fact, end the game. It ends on a rather unorthodox way. You think, okay, Echo Fox, they might have an easier time this round, but actually we just saw some crazy work out of Lucas. That was actually the main factor there. Sure, Zeus wins the 1v1, so you give him props for that,
yeah.
But Lucas is what set him up to succeed. Like, he made the big play there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He did do work, and Lucas, you're talking about Lucas, the M4 on top of the train, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, very important.
Especially whenever he's able to get the 180. Like, he got the 1 kill, 180, and killed 2 people Ivy, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just a really sick exchange that took place. You got to give your props over there to Lucas. It was Bolt who top frag on the match. And even though Lucas was the bottom fragger, he had like 2 really big plays throughout that game. So props to him. Pretty tight frag distribution amongst the, Phelps, Henny, and Zeus trio. And when you look over at the Echo Fox side, again, pretty close distribution. Maybe Sean Gare's a bit lower, but everyone else about the same. It was really, I felt it came down to a point, particularly in the first half. Just look at those 3 resets. You can see right there where the first clock is and those 2 diffuse kits. It was the economy being reset 3 times in the half. I mean, that hurts.
Yeah, definitely hurts.
And I mean, when you look at the second half, I mean, what do you feel was like the big reason why Echo Fox weren't able to get in the actual rounds? Like they had, 2 or 3 pretty good buys. I mean, was there anything that you detected that Immortals were able to do that just really stopped Echo Fox from being able to succeed? Or?
No, they just had a super sick default, and I think they were finding opening kills maybe a little bit too easily. It's just that they were coming without forcing Immortals into awkward positions where they were overextending, right? They weren't trapping any of the Immortals players. Instead, they were finding kind of these one-on-one duels and then just getting the better of their opponents. But on CT side, you're looking for 80-20 duels. On T side, you're taking any 50-50 duel you can find all the way to the bank. No, anytime they give it to you, right? You're looking for that risk because if you go 4v4, you're happy. You'll go in there with like a Scourge, get yourself killed. But if you take one of them down, you spread the CT thin, that round is so much easier to win. I
feel like 2 things that come like immediately to memory are the 2 aggressive plays that Immortals made on the inner bomb site and the halls. Like they had that one round where it was like Bolts and Zeus were really up close on Pop Dog, and you saw them be able to make a really big exchange that set them up. And then they had that other round where Henny actually got pressed up by Zeus into the halls with the op, and he got the opening pick, and then he was able to just do that. So I feel like early picks, as you were talking about, happened quite a lot for Immortals, particularly those 2 really key scenarios in the inner bomb site. And then, of course, the big play, of course, was from Lucas there to put a stop to any type of comeback effort from Echo Fox. That was a big